What if I told you that the secret to making them choose you has nothing to do with convincing, chasing, or proving your worth? Most people think love is won by effort, by showing how much you care, by going the extra mile, by doing whatever it takes. But here's the brutal truth. Effort without value doesn't inspire love. It creates pressure. The pain you're feeling right now, the rejection, the distance, the uncertainty, might seem like a weakness, but it's not. It's an opportunity, an invitation to rise above who you were and become someone they simply can't ignore. Attraction isn't about pursuit, it's about becoming irresistible. Right now you stand at a crossroads. You can keep trying to be chosen by lowering yourself, or you can elevate yourself until you are impossible to overlook. If you're ready to stop chasing and start becoming, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I control my emotions, not the world. Let's dive in. Number 1. Breaking the cycle of desperation. Reclaim your value. Most people don't realize that desperation is not just unattractive, it actively pushes others away. You might think that constantly being available, sacrificing your needs, or seeking validation through texts, calls, or gestures of attention shows how much you care. In reality, it shows how much you lack self-control. From a Stoic perspective, the more you chase, the more you surrender your worth. True attraction is never born from neediness, but from the quiet confidence of someone who does not need to beg to be chosen. Marcus Aurelius taught that happiness, and by extension personal power, comes from within, not from how others treat us. Yet many people, especially after rejection or uncertainty, fall into the trap of trying harder, hoping to buy affection through persistence. But consider this. Would you trust a leader who panics under pressure? Would you follow someone who loses themselves at the first sign of difficulty? The answer is always no. People follow composure, not chaos. Here's the opportunity. Stop being the person who tries to prove their worth to someone who may not even value it. Desperation makes you seem like you don't value yourself, and if you don't value you, why should anyone else? Instead, shift the focus inward. Recognize that every time you chase, you reinforce the belief that you're not enough. The key is to flip the narrative, not by convincing them you're valuable, but by knowing it yourself. Imagine standing still while the storm rages. You don't need to fight the wind, you simply remain grounded. Your silence and detachment are not signs of giving up, but signs of strength. The more you control your emotions, the more others will start to question themselves, not you. Why isn't he chasing me? Why does he seem unbothered? This is where power is reclaimed, not through noise, but through stillness. Here's what you must do. Withdraw from behaviors driven by insecurity. Stop checking their social media. Stop texting without purpose. Stop waiting for a response. Instead, invest that energy into building yourself. Physical strength, emotional resilience, intellectual curiosity. These are the traits that make you attractive, not desperation. You don't have to be cold. You just have to be composed. Psychologically, this shift is profound. As you reclaim your emotional control, you radiate calm confidence. The more you embody this, the more others notice, not because you forced them to, but because composure is magnetic. People are drawn to those who don't beg to be chosen, but choose themselves first. Now, speak out and comment below. I control my mind, no one else does. Number 2. The power of detachment. Finding strength in silence. When a relationship ends or when someone pulls away, it's tempting to fight for their attention. You might want to reach out, explain yourself, or try to get them back. However, this approach is rooted in emotional dependence and desperation, both of which are deeply unattractive. Instead, the Stoics offer a more powerful path. Detachment. It's not about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about freeing yourself from the need for someone else's validation and recognizing that your worth is not defined by their approval. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, said, "Happiness depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you detach from the outcome of a situation, you stop tying your happiness to the actions of others. Detachment allows you to take control of your emotions, to be unaffected by external forces, and to move forward with your own sense of purpose. Imagine this: you're on a boat, caught in the middle of a storm. The wind howls and the water surges. If you try to control the storm, you'll be overwhelmed. But if you detach and focus on steering the boat, you can navigate the storm without being consumed by it. This is how detachment works. You don't try to control their actions, but you maintain your course, unaffected by the chaos around you. Here's the opportunity. Detaching emotionally allows you to regain your power. Instead of reacting to their every move, you choose to focus on yourself. When you stop chasing, you become the person who is in control of their own emotions. The absence of neediness or desperation makes you more attractive and leaves others wondering why you're not affected by the situation. What can you do? Practice emotional detachment. When you feel the urge to reach out or express your emotions, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself if it's truly necessary. Focus on your goals, your passions, and your personal growth. By doing this, you stop letting someone else's actions control your emotional state. You start living for yourself, not for the approval or attention of others. The psychological impact of this is powerful. As you detach, you become more emotionally stable. People are naturally drawn to those who can maintain their composure, especially in difficult situations. By choosing detachment, you create a sense of mystery and strength that makes others want to know more about you. It's not about playing games, it's about choosing your own emotional independence. Now, speak out and comment below. I control my mind, no one else does. Number 3. Raising your standards. Demand respect through self-worth. When we don't demand respect from others, we end up accepting less than we deserve. After a breakup or difficult situation, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that any form of attention is better than none, or that simply being available for someone makes you valuable. But the truth is, you're devaluing yourself by settling for poor treatment. The key to transforming your life and making yourself truly attractive is raising your standards, not for the people around you, but for yourself. The Stoics teach us that self-respect is fundamental to a good life. They understood that our worth should never be contingent on others' opinions. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you demand respect, you send a message to the world that you value yourself. It's not about being arrogant, it's about recognizing your own worth and making sure others do the same. Imagine you are a rare and valuable treasure. Would you allow just anyone to handle you carelessly? Absolutely not. You would only allow those who value you, who respect you, to approach. In the same way, your emotional energy, your time, and your attention are valuable. When you raise your standards, you protect these valuable resources from being squandered on people who don't appreciate them. Here's the opportunity you have now. By raising your standards, you start teaching others how to treat you. The more you demand respect, the more others will be forced to meet your expectations. This isn't about forcing anyone to change, it's about ensuring that you don't accept anything less than you deserve. What can you do? Start by setting clear boundaries. If someone doesn't treat you with respect, distance yourself. Don't settle for behaviors that make you feel less than. Focus on your own self-improvement, your physical, mental, and emotional health. When you elevate your own standards, others will start to take notice. They will either rise to meet you or fade out of your life, making room for people who respect you. The psychological impact of this is transformative. By raising your standards, you become someone who is not easily swayed by external validation. You stop accepting crumbs and start receiving what you truly deserve: respect, love, and admiration from those who truly appreciate you. Now speak out and comment below. I control my mind, no one else does. Number 4. Building genuine emotional connections. The power of authenticity. In the world of relationships, it's easy to get caught up in the allure of physical attraction or surface-level connections. But the truth is, these types of connections often fade quickly. What makes you truly irresistible and what leaves a lasting impact on others is the depth of your emotional connections. Genuine, meaningful bonds are what make you unforgettable, and they are built on the foundation of authenticity and vulnerability. The Stoics believed in being true to oneself, and Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of kindness and integrity in all relationships. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself, he advised. The key to building emotional connections that truly matter is to show up as your authentic self. When you allow others to see the real you, not a version of yourself that's crafted to impress or gain approval, you create a space where deep, lasting connections can grow. Imagine a tree standing tall in a forest. It doesn't need to pretend to be something else to be strong and admired. Its value comes from its deep roots, from its authenticity, and from the way it provides shade and shelter to others. In the same way, when you're truly yourself, you attract people who value you for who you really are, not for some facade you put on. Here's the opportunity you have now. Focus on building real emotional connections by showing vulnerability and authenticity. Share your thoughts, your struggles, and your joys. Let others in, but don't try to change yourself to fit what you think they want. When you lead with genuine emotion and authenticity, you give others the space to connect with you on a deeper level. What can you do? Start by being more open and honest in your interactions. Listen more deeply, not just to hear, but to understand. Show empathy and compassion, and allow others to see your true self. The more you embrace vulnerability, the more you'll attract people who appreciate you for exactly who you are. Psychologically, this shift creates a deeper, more lasting bond with others. People are drawn to authenticity because it feels real, it feels safe. When you are genuine, you create a space where emotional intimacy can thrive, and that is what makes you truly magnetic. Now, speak out and comment below. I control my mind, no one else does. Number 5. Maintaining independence and self-respect, the true source of attraction. One of the most powerful things you can do to make yourself irresistible is to maintain your independence and self-respect. When we rely too much on others to define our worth or happiness, we lose the essence of who we are. True attraction comes from being complete on your own, from not needing anyone else to validate your existence. The Stoics knew this well. Independence isn't just a lifestyle, it's a state of mind that makes you both strong and magnetic. Marcus Aurelius taught that our happiness doesn't depend on external factors, but on our ability to control our thoughts and actions. This means that when you rely on others for validation, you surrender control of your own life. But when you stand on your own, when you create your own path and live by your own standards, you become the person who attracts respect, not because you're seeking it, but because you naturally exude it. Imagine a mountain standing tall and unmoved, no matter how hard the winds blow or how much the earth shakes. It's not because the mountain is trying to be admired, it's simply because it's rooted in strength and stands independently. In relationships, when you maintain your own goals, passions, and boundaries, you become like that mountain, steadfast, strong, and admirable, without needing anyone to confirm your worth. Here's the opportunity you have now. Focus on yourself and what makes you fulfilled. You don't need to chase after people, seek constant attention, or change who you are to be loved. When you maintain your independence, you send the message that you are complete as you are, and that's what attracts others. They are drawn to you not because of desperation, but because of your strength and self-sufficiency. What can you do? Invest in your passions, your career, and your health. Build a life that excites you and gives you fulfillment, regardless of who's in it. Maintain your boundaries and only accept relationships where respect, trust, and reciprocity are given freely. The more independent and self-respecting you become, the more others will recognize your worth and want to be a part of your life. The psychological effect of this is powerful. As you remain independent, you stop chasing validation. People begin to respect you, not because you seek their approval, but because you are a person who knows their own value. Your self-sufficiency makes you more attractive than anything else could. Now, speak out and comment below. I control my mind, no one else does. Number 6. Effective communication, clearly expressing your needs. One of the most important aspects of any relationship is communication, yet it's often overlooked or mishandled. When you don't clearly express your needs, desires, or boundaries, you risk being misunderstood, overlooked, or taken for granted. Too often, we assume that others should read our minds, waiting for them to figure it out on their own. But this silence or ambiguity only leads to frustration and disconnection. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, believed in the power of clarity and directness. He taught that we should not waste time on misunderstandings or unnecessary disputes. Don't argue about what a good person is, be one, he said. In relationships, this means that clear, honest communication is key. When you're not afraid to express your thoughts, desires, and boundaries, you communicate your value and expectations without any room for confusion. Imagine a captain navigating a ship. The crew needs clear instructions to steer the ship in the right direction. If the captain is vague, the crew will be uncertain and the journey will falter. In relationships, your communication serves as the compass that keeps everything on course. When you communicate clearly, you ensure that both you and the other person are aligned, reducing misunderstandings and building a solid foundation for mutual respect. Here's the opportunity you have now. Speak up for yourself. Don't wait for the other person to guess what you want or need. Express your desires clearly, but always with respect and confidence. Be direct, but also compassionate. This is not about being demanding or controlling, but about creating a space where both parties understand each other's needs and expectation. What can you do? Practice being assertive in your communication. Don't shy away from expressing your boundaries, desires, or frustrations in a healthy, constructive way. Be confident in your own voice. The more clearly you communicate, the more respect you command, and the more others will see you as someone worth listening to. Psychologically, clear communication fosters respect and reduces unnecessary tension. When you express your needs openly, you create an environment of trust and understanding. This not only makes you more attractive, but also helps in building deeper, more meaningful connections. Now, speak out and comment below. I control my mind, no one else does. Number 7. Showcasing personal growth. The irresistible power of progress. When you focus on continuous personal development, you don't just grow, you transform into someone who naturally attracts attention and respect. Physical, emotional, and intellectual growth make you stand out in ways that superficial traits never can. People are drawn to those who are always evolving, always striving for something better. This constant growth isn't about impressing others. It's about improving yourself for your own sake. Seneca, a key Stoic philosopher, said, "Every new beginning comes from the end of another beginning." The idea is that each phase of personal growth represents the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. This cycle of development allows you to shed old habits, perspectives, and limitations, leaving space for more powerful versions of yourself. Growth in one area, whether it's your physical health, career, or emotional well-being, ripples out, making you more appealing to others without you having to try. Imagine a river carving its way through stone. Over time, small, consistent movements create a force that shapes everything in its path. Similarly, when you commit to personal growth, every action you take, whether it's learning something new, improving your health, or working on your emotional resilience, creates a force of attraction that becomes impossible to ignore. Your growth will naturally attract others who value the same qualities of progress and ambition. Here's the opportunity. When you invest in your personal development, you not only improve yourself, but also become someone others want to be around. The more you grow, the more your value increases, and as you evolve into a stronger, wiser version of yourself, you naturally begin to attract the right people into your life, those who appreciate and respect your efforts, and who align with your new, improved self. What can you do? Focus on consistent, small improvements every day. Whether it's setting a fitness goal, learning something new, or working on your emotional intelligence, every step forward contributes to your overall growth. Don't focus on impressing others, focus on impressing yourself. The more you grow, the more others will take notice of the strength and confidence that comes from being truly invested in your own journey. Psychologically, continuous growth not only makes you more attractive, but it also boosts your self-esteem. When you see the progress you've made, you develop an internal sense of accomplishment and self-worth that radiates outward. People are drawn to your energy, your drive, and your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Now, speak out and comment below. I control my mind, no one else does. Number 8. Avoiding common pitfalls. Confidence over control. In any relationship or interaction, it's easy to fall into certain traps: desperation, manipulation, or trying to control the outcome. These behaviors may feel like they're helping in the short term, but they ultimately push others away. When you become too eager to explain yourself, try to control someone's feelings, or sacrifice your own boundaries to gain approval, you lose your sense of self. The Stoics teach us that true strength comes from maintaining composure and focusing on what we can control: ourselves. Epictetus, a key Stoic figure, famously said, "No great thing is created suddenly." This principle is crucial in understanding the value of patience and self-restraint. Relationships and personal growth take time. They aren't to be rushed or manipulated. Desperation and control tactics might momentarily get a response, but they won't create lasting, meaningful connections. Instead of trying to manipulate the situation, embrace who you are, trust the process, and let things unfold naturally. Imagine a flower growing in a garden. If you try to force it to bloom by pulling at its petals, you'll damage the flower and it will never grow the way it's meant to. Similarly, when you try to force a relationship or manipulate someone into liking you, you destroy the natural potential for a real connection. By letting things grow at their own pace and focusing on your own development, you create a relationship that flourishes without the need for force or control. Here's the opportunity. Stop trying to control or manipulate outcomes. Instead, focus on being your authentic self, setting healthy boundaries, and allowing things to unfold in their own time. True attraction comes from confidence, not control. When you stop playing games or forcing responses, you begin to build relationships based on mutual respect, not manipulation. What can you do? Start by practicing self-control and patience. Focus on building your own life, your own emotional resilience, and your own boundaries. When you stop chasing after validation or trying to control someone's feelings, you allow space for genuine connections to form. Let people come to you, not because you forced it, but because your self-confidence and authenticity made them want to. Psychologically, this shift creates a deeper sense of respect from others. When you stop trying to control, you send a message that you value yourself enough to let go of the outcome. This calm confidence naturally attracts the right people into your life and fosters connections that are genuine and sustainable. Now, speak out and comment below. I control my mind. No one else does. Number 9. Moving forward, embrace the power of letting go. In the wake of emotional turmoil, it's tempting to hold on to the past, whether that's the memories of a relationship or the idea of what could have been. The problem is, holding on to these past events only keeps you stuck. When you refuse to let go, you allow the past to dictate your emotional state, preventing you from moving forward and growing. Stoic philosophy teaches that in order to experience true peace and growth, you must first let go of the things that no longer serve you. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Letting go doesn't mean erasing the past or pretending it never happened. It simply means choosing to move forward with your life, accepting that certain things are beyond your control. When you let go, you give yourself the freedom to reclaim your peace and focus on what lies ahead. Imagine trying to run while carrying a heavy bag filled with rocks. The longer you hold onto it, the more it weighs you down, making it harder to move. But if you let go of the bag, you instantly feel lighter and you can run with more freedom and speed. This is how letting go works. By releasing emotional baggage, you make space for new opportunities, growth, and personal peace. Here's the opportunity. The moment you let go, you free yourself from the weight of regret, resentment, and unhealed wounds. When you stop holding on to the past, you create space for new experiences and better relationships to enter your life. Letting go isn't a sign of weakness. It's a courageous step toward self-love and self-improvement. What can you do? Start by forgiving yourself and others. Recognize that holding on to anger or sadness only hurts you in the long run. Focus on what you can control, your actions, your goals, and your mindset. Allow yourself to heal, grow, and embrace what the future has to offer. The more you let go of what no longer serves you, the more you make room for peace and growth. Psychologically, this shift frees up emotional energy that was previously consumed by the past. Once you let go, you open yourself up to new opportunities, better connections, and a renewed sense of self-worth. The more you let go, the more you'll realize how much lighter and more powerful you feel. Now, speak out and comment below. I control my mind, no one else does. Number 10. Rebuilding on a stronger foundation. The power of reinvention. When you experience loss or rejection, it can feel like everything you've built has been shattered, but rather than letting this be the end, it can be the beginning of something even greater. In the Stoic tradition, it's understood that setbacks are not permanent roadblocks. They are opportunities for reinvention. By focusing on your own growth and rediscovery, you have the chance to build a stronger foundation for yourself, one that is resilient and independent of past experiences. Marcus Aurelius taught that our circumstances do not define us, our reactions to those circumstances do. When faced with adversity, we have the choice to be consumed by the pain or to use it as fuel for growth. The end of a relationship or any difficult period in life doesn't have to mark the end of your journey. It can become the starting point for building a more powerful version of yourself. Imagine a broken structure, once standing strong but now in ruins. Rather than attempting to repair it with the same materials, the wise approach is to build with something better, something stronger. Reinventing yourself after hardship is about using the lessons learned, the strength gained, and the wisdom acquired to create something that can withstand even greater challenges. Here's the opportunity. You have the power to rebuild, not just in the same way as before, but in a new and improved way. This is a chance to redefine yourself, your goals, and your purpose. Use the time of solitude and self-reflection to focus on what truly matters to you, whether it's personal growth, career advancement, or emotional healing. Every step you take forward is a step toward reinvention. What can you do? Begin by letting go of the past and focusing on what you can control: your actions, your attitude, and your future. Take small but consistent steps toward improvement in every area of your life. Focus on building your physical, mental, and emotional strength. Use the challenges of the past as stepping stones to create a new, more empowered version of yourself. Psychologically, reinvention is a powerful tool. As you rebuild, you gain confidence, self-respect, and clarity. The more you invest in yourself, the less you rely on external validation. You will become the kind of person who can handle life's challenges with grace and strength, someone who attracts the right people and opportunities into their life. Now, speak out and comment below. I control my mind, no one else does. You started thinking that the way to win them over was by doing more, giving more, proving more. But now you see, the answer was never about chasing, it was about changing. They never held the key to your value, you did all along. If you're ready to keep evolving into someone who attracts, not begs, then like this video, subscribe, and comment below. I am unstoppable. Stay strong, keep building, because the version of you they can't ignore is already within reach.